start streaming. Yeah, we have to get you like a decent pair of headphones so that we can plug it directly into the computer and have the audio go out to the headphones because they're probably picking up his audio at the same time and it's going to be fucking wonky. But
we just have to try not to interrupt each other.
We'll get through it. I don't care. Let me see if I can hide that a little bit more. Yeah. Oh god, I forgot how like slow OBS makes everything.
Oh yeah. OBS definitely makes everything slow.
Yeah, it's.
And Streamlabs is even worse.
That's why, like, I'll stick with OBS for now. If you're gonna stream to Twitch, I can actually recommend downloading the Twitch desktop app because it's really good.
I have it, but I'm more of a console guy anyway, so.
Oh, okay.
I haven't really done too much streaming. I think you can stream through the Xbox, but I'm not sure. I think they're trying to go to Facebook, I think.
I know you can do it through both of them. You can do it through PlayStation and Xbox, but it's really fucking wonky to do it. Oh yeah, we're live.
I did it through Mixer when Mixer was a thing for a while.
Mixer. That's funny.
It was a cool thing because obviously I'm an Xbox guy.
That's not long enough.
Pretty cool.
Sure.
Yeah, plus it's in like 720p. You'd have to do a full 1920 by like, it doesn't have to be 1080, but like you'd have to do it 1920 across. And that's just shorter. I can test it. Everybody's watching us and they're like, what are these fucking weirdos doing?
But hey, welcome to Just Your Average Podcast.
Yeah, welcome to this nightmare.
I'm Chad, that's Chris, and the person either there or there, I don't know what side you're on. That's Matt.
That's it.
What would it say? Retro.
Retro.
Like that? God. I stop looking at. I'm just looking at Matt talking to him on the screen instead of the camera. How you doing today, Matt?
What's up?
Oh, well, Matt saved the day. Drunk Chris called out. I think he drank too much.
Oh god.
Maybe.
Oh, that's way too big. Yeah.
Too big?
Yeah. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out later. That's a project for next time. I'm not even gonna deal with it right now. It'll be fine. Oh yeah, like the whole logo popped up. It's fucked. We're all fucked. Matt's not fucked. Well, he got fucked. He has kids.
Hey.
He had sex. What do you want me to say? You had sex. You have 2 kids.
Yeah, I do.
You also have something in your beard.
It's probably
Food.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know how either of you exist with beards. It's fucking horrible. I have this shitty little baby beard, and it's like, what the fuck is going on?
You just gotta stop caring about your face, your appearance.
One of my bosses is like all about looking professional, and I'm just like, nah, you have me in a tie, that's good enough.
Well, the best thing of the beard, too, is it hides the double chin. I don't know if that's why you have a big beard, but the main reason why I kept the beard is because when I shave, you just see, like, the double chin.
No, I just don't care. That's
really
my
hate shaving.
half the beard. And also, like, my life goal is to run naked through a sod field, because we have those in Long Island, with beard all the way down covering my junk.
Fucking hot.
Pat's sister did that tripping.
Yeah, I could trip on it, yeah.
Wow. All you drug addicts, Jesus Christ.
I'm not a drug addict.
Allegedly. I never called you a drug addict. The one who ran through a field tripping might be a little bit, but I'm not.
Hey, to be young.
I haven't done it yet.
Well, if you do it, make sure you're on Shermies. Because then you just feel the breeze. Maybe the sprinklers will go off.
I'm also the crazy guy that will go out when it's like 15 below out and I'll be in shorts. Just out. I'm cool with it.
That's probably going to be me when I'm delivering. Because wearing pants when you run around all day delivering packages, yeah, hot.
That's the camera.
Yeah. Hey, camera.
It'd be better if the camera was like stuck here so we could look at each other, but then it'd look like a porn movie.
Just from up above.
Oh my god. You're terrible.
Sent you another picture.
I know you did. I'm paying attention to things. What is this? No. Well, maybe.
It's wider and longer.
That's a disappointment.
So, did you guys hear the big news today? Evil Microsoft bought Bethesda.
I don't know why you fucking hate Microsoft so much.
Xbox is the devil.
No, it's not. They bring all my games to PC, and that's all I care about, because it can run it in 1080p at 180 frames a second.
Who plays PC?
Me.
Honestly.
And I play Xbox, though.
Oh, you're so lame. I feel like I'm the only main PlayStation guy out of the group.
Not really. I mean, Leslie is that way, too.
I thought she was more Nintendo.
Well, no, she's definitely more... I would assume she's definitely more PlayStation because of Final Fantasy and all that shit.
Yeah. I'm just bummed that PlayStation not going to be able to have Doom, Fallout, Elder Scrolls.
Oh, they'll have it.
You think Xbox is going to slut it out the PlayStation without making them cough up some hard money?
That was my... I mean, I can't see why they wouldn't. I mean, Bethesda would just... And Microsoft would be stupid not to hold it out on PlayStation. I mean, that was kind of dumb. But we have seen pretty dumb shit.
Bethesda's been kind of slacking lately, so Microsoft might be giving them that hard cash.
Doubtful. I honestly doubt it.
I've never been... You could definitely have AJ on here and talk about Doom. I played it. I was like, whatever. It's Doom. Whatever. Not my cup of tea.
I didn't play Fallout 76. So.
Nobody did.
Yeah.
Nobody played Fallout 76. That was a dumpster fire.
I also didn't play The Outer Limits, that other game that
That's...
The other... Was
that
it
the
Obsidian?
creators of the Fallout series created, but it wasn't through Bethesda.
Yeah, it was Oblivion, right?
Oblivion?
Yeah, oh, Obsidian.
Yeah. So I'm slacking on my big RPG games.
Dude, I play fucking Mario. Like, that's what I play. I don't
Dude,
play
if I had a Switch, I'd be playing Mario all day.
Get a
but
Switch.
Nobody buys me a Switch.
Just rob one from the fucking Amazon truck. It just got lost.
Every time I go to Walmart, I check, and all they ever have is the little handheld ones.
That's fine. That's all you need.
I don't want that, because then we can't play on the TV and stuff. How am I supposed to play you in Mario Kart?
You're not. You never will. We've established this. I'm better at Mario Kart than you.
But if I had a Switch, I could play it all day.
I don't play it all day. I'm just innately better at it. And then you're innately better at Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I fucking hate Mortal Kombat.
I'm not a big
Yeah, it's...
But I suck at them. I play them just to have fun. That's really what I do. I don't even play them to be competitive. Cause the only competitive fighting game I could probably, and I think all of us can agree on, is Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah. And Chad doesn't want to play it because...
I'm bad at it. Hey, if I had a Switch, I could get better at it. I just really don't know how to play it. It's just me pushing a bunch of buttons, hoping things happen.
I think it's too fast for you.
Yeah, my brain can't comprehend
you play the more slow and methodical games, whereas Matt and I are fucking...
I don't know, I was pretty good at Dragon Ball Z Fighters for only playing it when I'm playing against you guys.
I'm also pretty good playing only against you, but the CPU's different. I can beat the CPU's ass regularly. You, not so much. We go back and forth.
I was playing Street Fighter 3 the other day. Got pretty good at that.
I was playing Street Fighter 2. Got a piece of artwork from Matt, because, he's a fucking legend.
Yeah, his little thing's going to be in the comments.
Ooh, do we have a... Oh, I might have actually...
all that sick-ass shit.
I make that. I make the N64 thing.
Can I...
Make the stands that are doing up there.
So do you guys think this is Microsoft's plan when they're not putting any exclusives out, but then they're like, hey, we bought Bethesda?
No.
You think this was in the works when all that was happening, though?
No. Absolutely not.
I think what Microsoft is doing is trying to better the gaming community. I mean, honestly. They're trying to pretty much put... Because what they want to do is they want to have Xbox Game Pass as kind of the Netflix of gaming.
This is why I originally thought they shouldn't be coming out with a new system. They should just do that kind of stuff.
Well, that's true, but they also need to compete with, because the Xbox One X is good, but really what these systems are starting to become are cheaper PCs. Me personally, I'm getting this Series X. It's just something that I want to get because Halo's going to be on it, but they also did confirm that Halo is going to be on, I think, the Xbox One, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah, they're probably going to do backwards compatibility just due to the fact of, like, they're going to be losing out on a massive portion of their base if they alienate everybody in the Xbox One community, because you don't want to instantly make that jump, especially with such a new console, which sucks, but that's what's going to have to happen, if we're being honest.
Well, they already confirmed for, especially through Xbox Game Pass, because that's what they want to do. So the two ways you can buy the Xbox is you can just buy it outright. So either you pay the $4.99 or the $2.99.
Is it $4.99? I thought it was $3.99.
No, the smaller one is $2.99.
Yeah, the bigger one, the disc one's $3.99, isn't it?
No, it's $4.99. It's the same price as the PlayStation 5.
It's different.
They're both the same price.
No. The Series X is $3.99. Series X is
$4.99.
Yeah, the Series S is the one that's $2.99, which I don't know how they're doing that.
The Series S is basically is like the Xbox One S version, but it's just all digital now because it's going towards that. They're also doing. I personally think the way that they're doing is Xbox is smart because they're also rolling. You can't buy Xbox anymore, like a year subscription. They're rolling that into Game Pass.
Yeah, but then you have to have people that are actually willing to buy the Game Pass, which is...
How much does the Game Pass cost?
Game Pass, they have deals all the time, but it's like $10 a month.
Yeah, so it's like PlayStation Plus.
Getting over 1,000 games, and you basically and any new games like Halo, or any like exclusive games like Gears, like one of the bigger names, I think Gears Tactics is coming out as a launch game for the Xbox.
Now, is that what basically PlayStation Now is?
Kind of.
I think PlayStation Now that was their PlayStation's failed attempt at it because, I mean, to be honest with you, because they kind of they canceled PlayStation Now, I think, didn't they?
No, I still have it.
Yeah, PlayStation Now is still available. It's just not as it's not as hard pushed as,
They're getting a lot of AAA games. Like, you got the new God of War and all that stuff on it now.
Yeah, but
there's a lot of obscure fighting games that are pretty cool.
I mean, the new God of War game right now is like what, $20?
Give or take, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that. So I mean, but what Xbox is doing, any new game that you buy. So like, if Halo was coming out tomorrow on Xbox Game Pass, it's already going to be on there. You don't have to buy it. But if you have the Game Pass, you can already download it. There have been at least 6 games that I've done that for that I actually didn't buy, but since I had the Game Pass, it worked.
Now, do you think PlayStation and Microsoft want you to buy the digital versions more than the actual disc drive ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's where they're going. Like, I mean, if you look at Xbox, they just released Cloud X, I think it's called, which is kind of like their cloud service. So it's kind of like how PlayStation used to put whatever you're gaming onto your phone or onto another laptop or tablet. Xbox just did that, but you're actually using your Xbox as like the cloud, kind of like Stadia does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So instead of you having a controller just for your Stadia account, your Xbox is pretty much that pass-through. So you can, if I want to, I can take it has to be a Samsung product, so an Android device right now. But you get like even the new Microsoft phone that they just put out. You can use that and it will connect to your Xbox at home, and you can play your games through that.
Yeah, but who's gonna use their new phone? I mean,
You're right. I mean, personally, I think a lot of people have iPhones, but that's going to be released, I think, later this year or later next year.
Well, do you think them doing all this digital stuff is just going to ruin like the actual marketplace of games, like outside of online and all that? Considering like nobody's going to be buying used games anymore if we all have digital things, and that's where GameStop makes most of their money.
Yeah, but also GameStop is bankrupt.
So you think this is going to be the final nail in the coffin for them?
I think it's a final nail in the coffin, and to be honest with you, I think it's like right now we're at that crossroads. It's kind of like with Blockbuster in movies. Blockbuster tried to compete with Netflix because originally when Netflix came out, it wasn't a streaming service. You can rent DVDs from them.
You think anybody's still renting those DVDs, by the way?
no.
I don't think they even have it anymore.
They do have it still. People are still doing it, but I wonder like how many.
I don't know, but I mean, I worked for Blockbuster when they started doing this. I think like Blockbuster at Home or something like that. I forget. It was one of the last things that they tried doing. They tried to compete with Netflix doing kind of like Netflix and Redbox and stuff like that, where you can rent the DVD and then you return it after a certain amount of time. I think we're at that progression with games, to be honest with you.
Is GameFly still a thing?
Yes. And I don't know. I never liked it.
Did you ever do it?
Because I'd much rather have a digital version.
Yeah, I'd much rather have a personal copy rather than like a, one I have to return. And it's like, even at that point, I like to see the collection grow. Even if it's digital, I prefer more of a physical copy just because I like to, have that shelf that has all the games on it. But after a certain point, it's kind of just like...
And you might agree with this too, Matt. Having kids, I don't know if your kids are just monsters like mine, but the amount of games I can't play anymore because my daughter finds them. I can't play my Super Mario Land. I'm pretty sure my Crash Bandicoot, I gotta clean that up a bit.
That's the wonderful thing about having a cave of some sort, is you can just put them all here. And you don't have to worry.
Basement door.
Well, my Patty likes playing video games too, so I had to leave them upstairs.
Fucking put them on a shelf.
Yeah.
Right now, the one big thing that my son likes to play, he's gonna be 6 in December. He loves playing the Labo, the Nintendo Labo that you had to make things toys out of cardboard. He loves the fishing game. He thinks it's the freaking awesome, most amazing thing ever. And he also likes watching me play Super Mario Brothers and stuff like that, and the new game that Super Mario 3D All Star.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm trying to get him into games, but also I totally understand where you guys are coming from, because I also taught them how to use Duck Hunt, and they think it's the best thing ever, but they keep forgetting there's a cord, so they run away.
That's weird, growing up in a digital age, knowing analog stuff. So, you can pick this up. It has a cord attached to it, but it's kids are now used to oh, well, none of that. Yeah, I don't fucking know how it goes back on. Don't break it, please, for the love of God. He might kill you. There you go. But, yeah.
I was watching a movie earlier. I don't remember what it was. But
old.
It was about the Manson murders. So they were showing the housekeeper running away, trying to find help for people. It was a documentary.
Yeah.
So they showed the housekeeper, she had to run for help, and I'm like, damn, this all could have been solved with a cell phone.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Well, it's one of the funniest things I've ever heard, and recently, we can talk about TikTok, but I follow it just because I'm a dad. And,
we are going to talk about TikTok soon.
But somebody was posting, if you're a 90s child, or you grew up in the 80s and 90s, what is the hand gesture when you want to talk on the phone?
Oh, it's this.
Yeah.
But all the kids are like this now, and it's what the fuck is wrong with you?
They hold it like this.
Yeah.
They would an actual phone. I did it to my nephew and my niece, and they both did the same thing. I was like, oh god, I'm getting old.
Yeah, you realize at that moment you're just like, wow, the era where like you picked up a phone and it was just like, yeah, okay. Now it's just like, all right, yep, whatever. It's like, fuck.
Have your kids ever seen a payphone yet?
Oh my god.
Huh?
Have your kids ever seen a payphone yet?
No, actually, funny story with the payphone. So I watch a lot of like anime and stuff. So I've been watching the new Pokemon series, Pokemon Journeys on Netflix.
Oh god.
Riley likes it.
I think it's awesome. I think it's hilarious. And in one of the newer episodes, the main character goes into a. He's like, "Why are you in this glass box?" And Team Rocket comes out of a phone booth and he's like, "Why are you in this glass box? It's a phone booth." And then Meowth is like, "Wait, are we that old that this kid doesn't understand the concept of a payphone?" I was like, "Oh my god, that's hysterical." I was crying when I saw that.
Well, like on the mention of that, not like the payphone issue, but like the Pokemon series. If you look at Ash's team right now, it's way too fucking OP. He has a Dragonite, he has a fucking Gengar, and it's like, what the fuck? This kid like lost everything. Nope, OP team.
I gotta say, I hate how they changed the art style to like the cutesy anime.
I think it's funny because I liked X and Y, which was the last of the original style, and X and Y or XYZ. I forget what it.
X and Y.
Yeah, and then I loved that particular arc. I thought that whole arc was great. Sun and Moon, when they changed it more to an anime style and where they like the over the top expressions and everything.
Yeah.
I was pissing myself with some of the episodes. They are so funny. You forget how funny certain episodes are. That just the face just makes it so much funnier.
You forget Pokemon's a good anime.
Oh yeah, because I always considered it a cartoon. I never considered it an anime.
Yeah.
And then I started watching other anime, and I'm like, all right, it's a fucking anime.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like you watch the original episodes, and when when Misty has the Dawn Burry in her hand, and she's like, "I love donuts." It's like,
I actually have a hat with that. The
Yep.
jelly filled donuts.
oh fuck, dude! God, growing up with like all the old anime is like really fucking terrifying now.
Oh yeah.
Because like I'd never show it to a young kid.
I want to go back and watch the original Dragon Ball. 'Cause that was one of the first
Oh yeah.
You've never watched it, though, have you?
animes I
Me?
watched.
Yeah, I have.
I think they never watched Dragon Ball.
I didn't watch a lot of it, but I watched as much as I could when I was a kid.
It's good. I'm trying to find like a good version to show Riley.
There's no good version of Show Riley.
I know.
You show her Dragon Ball Z, you don't show her Dragon Ball, because as soon as you...
She would like Dragon Ball more, then when she gets older, she'll grow into Dragon Ball Z.
Until you see Goku slapping Bulma's fucking crotch, because it's like, where's the penis? Then she slaps your crotch.
It teaches her the difference between boys and girls. It's called parenting, Chris.
Isn't she pre-K?
Preschool, yeah.
Yeah. God,
They're not doing health class yet.
your kid's getting older. God,
It's friggin' nuts.
I can't.
Matt got a taste of how crazy she can be, or just like the talking.
I'm sorry about that, dude.
It's nothing to me. Like I have 3.
Yeah.
I have.
He's got you beat.
I have soon to be 6-year-old, and then I have a 3-year-old that she is a little diva. Oh my god! And they are smart as hell. And it's just like certain things. I just sit there. I'm like, where the hell did you learn that? And she's like, no, I just figured it out. I'm like, bro.
No, I can't. No.
Going back to like the old technology, I want to set like our kids up with an old NES and like a tube TV and be like, figure out how to put this together.
No.
Because I remember as a kid getting frustrated, being like, you need to hook it up to the cable thing, and you need to get that super wire and hook all that up.
Holy fuck. No,
Remember that?
I had one of the older tube TVs, so I had one that was like probably about this big, but it also weighed like 112 pounds. And like as a 10-year-old, I had to pick the fucking thing up, move it into my room, and I knew how to set it all up, but it was like it was the red, yellow, and white cable. So it was like, it was regular composite, so just plugged it all in and popped it all together. But it was like, I would never fucking give it to a kid. They'd ruin it. And like, that's such a, no.
I'm actually really surprised because I have one at my house because the kids play Duck Hunt.
Okay.
And they know how to turn on the TV. They know how to plug in the little AV cables.
Yeah.
They plug into the side because I also have the one that remember the aux where you screw it in the back. I have both, and they know how to do it. And they're like, I want to play Duck Hunt. And the one big thing that they don't know how to do yet is the when you turn it off. They don't turn it off. They leave it on, and they open up the hatch and up. And I'm like, stop, please. I was like, this thing is like 40 years old, and I give it to you for 5 minutes, and you're already gonna destroy it.
Yeah, they're gonna be the death of it.
See, I want to get the ones.
They've dropped it like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, but it's meant to be dropped. Those things are fucking monsters.
Yeah. It's hilarious. I love it. And I just started building an arcade cabinet.
Yeah.
Because I bought at a garage sale I found, actually, right here, an old Dr. Mario control pad.
Oh, shit.
So they were playing with it, and they were just like bashing on it. They think I was playing like on the Switch, and they were like, "Oh, I want to play it. I want to play it." I was like, "Okay, just smash on the joystick. Fine.
Yeah.
I don't care." But then I ended up I had an arcade cabinet, and I tried to redo it.
Yeah.
It was the one with the light gun.
Okay.
It was, Terra, I think it was. And I just couldn't get it to work, so I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna make my own.
Yeah.
So I ended up making an entire 4-person control panel that all lights up, but it connects into a Raspberry Pi.
Okay.
So I made it, and they were like, "This is awesome!" And they're like, "Bang, bang, bang, bang!" I'm like, I am surprised that this thing hasn't broken yet.
You know what you should do? Have you ever seen like those NESs and Super Nintendos that they mod and get like the HDMI ports in them? So it ups like the graphics and everything on it and how it runs. And then they have like the actual cartridges that have like all the games on it.
Yeah,
I have a friend that bought it and he loves it.
It's hard for me to recommend something like that. So like Matt mentioned the Raspberry Pi. I have a 3B plus. I want to get the 4 though, but I have it the retro arcade setup. So like I have PlayStation 1, NES, Game Boy, Super NES. I have PSP games. I can't do PS2 because it's not fast enough to run it. But I also have like some older arcade games. I have like Atari games on it, and it's like it runs everything fine. Like some of the ROMs are kind of fucking wonky, but I mean it runs it all. So like I would recommend getting a Pi. It's a little bit more in depth, but the payoff is a little bit better.
Now, quick question:
Really
what is the Raspberry Pi?
Hold on. What?
The Raspberry Pi is basically like a small computer. It's like honestly, it's the size of this.
It's like an Altoid tin, almost.
Yeah, it's like an Altoid tin, but it's a pretty much a compact PC.
Yeah.
You can get it for $30, I think. The Raspberry 3s.
The 3s right now you can get for $30. If you want the 4 from like Best Buy, which has like the case, the power supply, not a graphics card. It's got like fans, it's got heat sinks, it's got SD card, and like an operating system already there. It's like $100.
So what do you just download all the mods onto that?
It's a little bit more in depth than that, but yeah.
Well, basically you put like RetroPie on it, which is a specific operating system for Nintendo, Super Nintendo. It has literally every single console imaginable on it, and you basically just take emulators from the internet. Disclaimer: if you have the game, you can download the emulator. If you don't have the game, it's technically illegal. So if you want to do it on your own accord. Just putting that disclaimer out there because I don't want to go down and have you guys get in trouble or
like Nintendo kicks down your door. It's like, where's the RetroPie?
Yeah. I've talked about how many times I have the fire stick.
Where is he? Sorry.
Dude, Nintendo's fucking hard about shit. Like it's scary.
But if you have the Raspberry Pi, can you hook it up to your TV and use a Bluetooth remote?
Yeah.
Yep.
Would the PlayStation remote work, or would you have to buy like a Switch
Yep.
remote? Kind of?
You can.
PlayStation and Xbox will work if you have them plugged in.
Yeah. Personally, I could actually recommend the 8-bit do remotes. Specifically, the one that looks like an old SNES controller, because they also have analog sticks, and it's $30. The battery lasts for almost a week and a half without having to charge it, and it's just like it's super easy to hold and play with. It's a little wonky because it's the old style controller, but it's still good.
Yeah, and you can also get the little dongle to put into your original NES or Super NES or Genesis,
Yeah.
and it's wireless.
What's a dongle?
What's wrong with you? Like, where's this?
Oh,
Like the dongle, yeah. You put it right into it's like a USB. That's what a dongle is.
Yeah. So like one end goes into the USB port, and the other end, does the other end plug onto the end of the NES controller, or is it like?
Basically, what it does is if you take 8-bit show,
Yeah.
it comes with a dongle which you put into your NES, and it makes kind of like a Bluetooth port.
Oh, okay. Yeah, some of them do. The one that I did didn't, so that's why I was asking.
You can connect the controller to it, or you can connect like a PlayStation one or a Xbox one to it, and it will work on an original system.
I gotta try that.
Dude, technology's moving fast.
Yeah, I have one, and you can actually make your own now. They actually sell a kit it's like on the Amazon. You can actually take the guts of an original Nintendo controller, take all the guts out, and then put in your own and make it wireless.
Dude, that'd be dope. It's terrifying where technology's come from.
Now, to find these ROMs, do you go on like a Pirate Bay website?
No.
You type it into Google. That's the only thing I can recommend.
What I could also recommend is if you actually go to the Raspberry Pi site, or if you go to r/Raspberry Pi or RetroPie on Reddit, they actually give you a fair amount of like emulator stations or like emulator sites that hold a lot of the ROMs. A lot of them are good. There are some that I don't recommend picking up. Like if you're going to look for something, a lot of the Nintendo ones have normally been taken down because Nintendo again is like super hard about shit like that. Yeah. But like PlayStation, anything on Sega, anything on Atari, like everything except for a Nintendo console, you can generally get away with without a problem.
Well, the main reason I want to switch is because I want to buy their little online thing so I can just play all the old games. That's probably the main reason why I want.
You can't play all of them, but you can play a good amount.
And the only PlayStation games I probably want to play is like RPGs, like
you
Final Fantasy.
You have Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah, I don't have a PlayStation.
You have no idea how badly I want to yank that out of this place.
I'll murder you.
I know you will.
I wonder if that's worth money.
No, because it's the green edition. If you had the black one, it'd be worth more. The green ones go for like $30. The black label, if they're still in the packaging, go for almost $400.
Damn, yo.
It's the same thing with the first print of Final Fantasy VII. The main reason you want the first print is because in the instruction booklet, there's a typo, which is only found on the first print black label. So if you have one of those that's sealed, they're worth upwards of $4,000. I spent too much time.
Wait, didn't you have like a rare Zelda game? Was that you that had it?
I have a gold cartridge Ocarina of Time.
Is that worth anything?
Yes and no. It depends.
It's $90 loose.
Yeah. Like, I think everybody had the same cartridge, but the original gold Legend of Zelda cartridge for the NES, those, if you have one that's like in decent quality, they're like $200 in some cases, but it all depends.
No, those ones aren't that bad. I think they're like $50 the original like gold cartridges.
Oh, okay.
For the NES and for Legend of Zelda 2 and the first one. The Ocarina of Time gold cart is $90 for the N64.
Okay.
It was a pre-order collector's edition.
Is it the one that came with Master Quest?
No, that was when you bought, I think, Wind Waker.
There was a version that came with Wind Waker. I think the Master Quest editions were only available in Japan for the DD system.
No, oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But the Master Quest, like with, I think it's like Link, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and something else. It's for the GameCube.
Yeah, I had it.
I have it too. That I think was a pre-order bonus for like Wind Waker, I think.
Fuck. Nintendo's fucking knows what they're doing, and I hate it.
Oh, it's amazing. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, they're coming out with so a prequel to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it's the what the fuck? Legend of Zelda Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, but the Age of Calamity, which they actually worked very closely, even though it's like a Hyrule Warriors type game, it's still a prequel of talk about the Calamity.
Yeah, Calamity Ganon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Like 100 years before.
I was on Reddit and people were getting mad about this new Zelda game for some reason.
It's because it's Hyrule Warriors, so it's. Huh?
Well, it's not like a typical Legend of Zelda game. It's more of like a Dynasty Warriors type game.
So like waves of enemies are coming at you, and you got to cut them all down. And it's like everybody got kind of butthurt because it's not, like he said, it's not a Legend of Zelda game, but it's also like they want to try something new, so fucking let them. It's like Breath of the Wild. Everybody got butthurt about that, and then it came out, and everybody's like, "It's amazing, 10 out of 10." It's like it's a solid 8.5, 9, but I wouldn't say it's a 10 out of 10. That's me though.
It's perfect, but I mean, for me, it's close. It's pretty damn close.
I think a solid 10 out of 10 Legend of Zelda. It's a really hard toss-up between Link to the Past and
Zelda 2.
Zelda 2 is a good game. It's just not a good Zelda game. I would say it's a toss-up between Link to the Past and Wind Waker. Wind Waker has a kind of wonky section, but they fixed it in the HD remake, collecting all like fucking 20 pieces of the Triforce that you needed, but they fixed that in the HD remake, so that's why it gets a better score from me.
I mean, for me, my probably one of the higher ranking ones for me is definitely got to be Minish Cap.
Okay.
I know it's not a very high one on a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of what made Link to the Past very good.
Yeah.
And I just like the idea of Link shrinking down, and I think the hat is just hysterical. And certain, I don't know why. It's just one of those games that like I literally sat down, beat it, and I was like, I want to play it again. Other Legend of Zelda games I've beaten, and I'm like, I think it's a great game, but I went back and played it. Same, it's like for me, like Twilight Princess is a great game.
Yeah.
I stopped playing it for like 6 months, and then I was talking to AJ, and he's like, "Oh, I'm up to this part," and I'm like, "Nah, fuck you. You ain't beating me. I'm beating it now."
It's like I can do this in 2 days. Get fucked.
Yeah, I mean, I beat Breath of the Wild in a week. But
Yeah.
that's not collecting anything. It was just kind of like just going through the progression, just doing it.
Yeah.
I beat it with it. Have I gone back to it in the 3 years that it's been out? Once or twice. But I haven't gone back to it because it's just, for me, it's like, single-player games kind of like lost a little bit of its luster for me because I like playing games with friends.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers is a great example of that. I play Call of Duty a lot with a couple of my other buddies. I've been dying to play Among Us. I know I keep seeing it, and I'm like,
you can play it on your phones. You know that, right?
Play it with our group of
Yeah,
friends.
but that's shitty.
No, I have friends that play it on their phone. It works fine.
I recommend it on the PC specifically for Discord. If you had the chance, you could have checked out when I was playing with some of my coworkers from work on our Twitch channel, JYA channel. But I recommend it for Discord because the basic gist of it, everybody, when you're doing your tasks, you all mute yourselves, so you can't talk to anybody. But as soon as they find a body and you come to that meeting, you unmute yourselves except for the dead people who stay muted. And like it gives you that opportunity of like, oh well, now we're playing Clue, and you have to like actually figure out who it is. Whereas like I dislike it on the mobile version, specifically for the fact of everything is way too small for me.
Yeah.
Like, I like to be able to, like, look at a big screen and be like, all right, cool, I see everything.
I've been wanting to play it because it seems like a game that I would totally have fun with.
Yeah.
Like, I would totally love to do it with, like, you guys, AJ, Leslie, and a couple other people. Like, even, like, it would be funny. I would totally do it with even Sword Chomp.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Sword Chomp doesn't
know.
want anything to do with us,
We're
so.
feuding with Sword Chomp at the moment.
Dude, I have no idea. They follow me, but I don't know. I'm not 100%.
Dude, I even messaged him. I'm like, dude, what's up with all the hate? And he never even messaged me back or looked at it or anything.
It's just what it is.
I really just want to put something on our Instagram being like, hey, Sword Chomp sucks, and just see what happens.
Nothing. Their following is infinitely bigger than us, so they don't care. They can look at it and just be like, nah.
I'll tag him in it, see if they...
They're not going to say shit.
To it.
No. I don't have a problem with them. They're fine people.
Yeah, they seem cool. I haven't, like, personally spoken to them. Like, I know, what was it? I think Morgan was, like, he, like, I think I subscribed to them on Instagram, and they were like, oh, yeah, hey, and he sent me a personal message. I was like, we've been in the same, like, chat for, like, a year.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't said a word.
Well, that's the thing. When I first
never responded again.
When I first made the Instagram and everything, we talked to them, and he was always wicked cool with us, and all of a sudden, like, out of nowhere.
I definitely think it's... I'm not going to put any words forward, but I definitely think it's a lot of what had to do with, like, me and Carlos. Because I don't know how close they are, but they seemed closer with Carlos.
You fucked up.
I don't care.
I have no idea, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's all work.
It's all games. I don't know. I don't care. I'm happy to, like, just keep doing what we're doing.
We finally have the channel set.
We could probably get Among Us to run on this PC. Because this thing doesn't require anything crazy. This is just literally...
$5. But, I mean, that would be fun, like, maybe, like, once to do. Just have a bunch of... I think I can even run it on my laptop.
Yeah, like, you could probably run it on, like, a solid turd. So, I mean...
Yeah, I definitely want to get back into the Let's Plays and stuff. We need to get an Elgato.
Oh, that's a whole situation within itself. Can we download Steam on here? Now I'm interested.
Let's do it after. We're doing it in the middle of a fucking podcast.
Shush.
This is what happens, Matt. He gets distracted.
That's because I'm the IT guy.
All right, Matt, let me ask you this, because I actually want to get your opinion on this. Have you heard any of the Joe Rogan blowback from Spotify and everything?
Oh, God.
From what? Because you broke up for a second.
Have you heard any of the blowback on Joe Rogan and Spotify?
To be honest with you, I don't really watch him. I have no idea.
Well,
Yeah.
when Joe Rogan was originally put on Spotify, they got rid of his Alex Jones episodes and, like, a bunch of random episodes that have to do with, like, democratic stuff.
So that's the one thing that I'll say, and I'll definitely polish this up to what I know. Alex Jones even said it himself. I'm like, I don't agree with Alex Jones. I think he's his own fucking person. He's entitled to his opinions, and some of the things he said has been crazy. But at the end of it all, he said it on Spotify when you need to put up 1,500 plus pieces of content, not including all, like, the countless amounts of terabytes of information that have to go into it. Some things aren't going to get loaded first. So they definitely had the first batch and the second batch, and they went up. But it's still that issue of, like, you have both sides wanting only their stuff to go up, and it's really fucking irritating.
The real thing that happened is there are Spotify employees that are going after Joe Rogan now because I guess he put some transphobic stuff up on some, which isn't being transphobic. He has the same views as I do. Is he doesn't think that males who transition should be able to compete in female sports.
No, they shouldn't. But
because they're dominating it. He
was also a comedian, and a lot of the things he said were related to his comedy routines. Stuff in particular related to Caitlyn Jenner. And after everything is said and done, the context he's speaking in is related to his comedy routine. He's mentioned several times that he has no ill will towards anybody, but it's like when everybody...
No, he doesn't hate the people. Like, a lot of his episodes that maybe seem a little risque towards the new woke culture and all that stuff. And I know you're more on the Republican side Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you feel towards like Spotify employees and Spotify like?
I mean,
Pretty much.
It's the employees. It's not Spotify itself. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Well, Spotify took down that didn't let them put those episodes up.
I mean,
they're still on.
I mean, if we're gonna get into that, I mean, you can probably argue, especially with Facebook, Spotify, anything. Those are it might not necessarily be that particular entity like Spotify, Facebook, Google, whatever, that they're taking down certain views. I personally think, hey, listen, it's free market. You guys can do whatever the fuck you want. If you hate somebody, fine. You're allowed to say you hate somebody. You want to do something, fine. I don't care. It's like me. Like you said, I'm a Republican. I drive around on a big white pickup truck with a giant Trump flag. That's just who I am. But do I get hate for it? Absolutely. I'm not doing anything. I'm not saying fuck Biden, fuck this guy. I don't care.
I mean, fuck Biden. Biden's a fucking a piece of shit weirdo.
But then I have other people because I'm in a very, very democratic, or what's the word I'm thinking of?
I would reserve to say liberal because
I meant to say like a very, very liberal state.
Yeah.
New York is a very, very liberal state. But if you take New York City out of it, apparently the whole rest of the country, the rest of the state is red, which is very interesting to me.
Yeah, but the mass population's in the city, so the state goes probably Democrat most of the time.
But we actually, right in my town, we actually just had a Trump rally. And, like, it's just interesting because I'm not expecting it, but also I've walked around, and, like, as I drive my truck, I get a lot of people giving me thumbs up, and then I have other people, like, and I have to say, it's just me calling what it is, but a person of color looking at me, and they're like, but I'm like, that's your opinion. I'm not sitting here force-feeding you that you need to watch Trump and like him. Everybody has their opinion. My grandfather used to tell me an adage. Everyone has opinion.
Well,
most opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. Most of them stink.
Well, for me and Chris, I imagine you probably have the same point of view with him. I just don't like him as a person. I think he's just a bad guy. I don't think he's doing things, to be honest, to help people. I think a lot of his stuff he's doing is kind of just to fly by the seat of his pants and go with what goes.
But how it's the same thing as like also with.
Well, all politicians are like that too. So.
But I mean, if you're going off of career politicians, I mean, you could look at New York as a perfect example. Look at Chuck Schumer, Jerry Nader. These people have been in fucking office for 50 plus years. What have they done? Nothing. Dick shit.
It's the same thing with a lot of the senators.
Exactly. I personally think, and I know it's not a conservative view or a Republican view, but I consider that I think everybody should have term limits.
Oh, yeah.
If the president has a term limit of only 2 terms,
yeah,
everybody else should. I mean, that's the one way you're going to root out career politicians.
Yeah. And it's like...
And I have a big problem with politicians that, on both sides, that you're technically only getting $400,000 a year to be a president. Why? Yeah, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Then why is it like Obama can afford a $15 million mansion in Martha's Vineyard?
Well, that's what's her name with the Heinz ketchup bullshit. His wife.
But I'm just saying, like, the only way you can do that is through insider trading, and playing pandemic. I mean, do you know how many senators made money off of this pandemic?
Fuck. Do we want to go through that list right now? Because I don't think we have the time to do it.
But I'm just saying, like, I mean, it doesn't matter on either side.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, I mean, personally, I really don't give a shit. I mean, certain senators I think are dumb as shit, especially some of them from my state. But we digress. But, I mean, I don't know. I think censoring, especially with the World Wide Web, it's going to be an issue. Especially with Spotify, all these different companies. The censorship is going to be crazy. Because it's not like the U.S. You hate somebody, you can say it to their face. That's your freedom of speech. You can say it. Freedom of press. You can write about it, too. We can talk about it here. But when it comes to on the internet, okay, Spotify is an American company. Who knows? I don't know. Personally, I really don't know. Don't use it.
Yeah, I think Spotify's based in
Spotify's
America.
American.
So, but I mean, now does it go by American laws, or does it go by world law? And
Well,
is there
they're technically an international company that works throughout the world, and they have their own stuff that they put through, which is why they can tell Joe Rogan we're not putting these episodes up.
Exactly.
Well, I don't think there have been episodes that he hasn't been allowed to put up.
No, there have. Like the Alex Jones ones they won't put on. There's certain ones that they put because the great thing about Joe Rogan, you like him or not, he puts people on a show that he might hate, he might not agree with, but he puts them on to see their point of view, and if he doesn't agree with them, he'll say his piece.
And from the few things, because I follow a bunch of different news networks, I never really was into politics, but I've gotten into them over the last couple of years. And anytime I do hear Joe Rogan, and I think I could sit there and listen to him for 2 hours? Probably not.
It depends on the person, to be honest.
But I've caught snippets of all of his stuff, and some of his things are really funny. Like, I like when he has the guy, Kalian Noir. He's a African-American pro-gun. And he has him on all the time. Same thing with Tim Kennedy. Like, he has these people on that, and I've also noticed Joe Rogan, he doesn't seem like he's either for Trump or Biden. He really doesn't care.
Well, originally he was against Trump, but then Biden came on. He put a statement out saying that he doesn't think he can vote for Biden, so he's probably going to vote for Trump. And that's when a lot of people went after him also. The workers at Spotify were like, because they're all probably just a bunch of hipster people who, I don't know.
And how I see it is, then if you're on the internet and you're behind a facade, you are a keyboard warrior. And that's how I feel. Because if you were, like how I get it, you look at me, I don't look intimidating. But when I'm standing next to somebody and somebody is like, fuck Trump, fuck this, fuck that, and I'm like, listen guys, I don't care. You can do whatever you want. You're free to speak. I really don't care. I really don't. I'm not forcing my ideals on you. You shouldn't force your ideals on me. Because I have a lot of people that like try and force their stuff on me. And I'm like, listen, you're not going to change me. If it's sports, we can argue. I'm a Giants fan. You guys like a different team. We argue. Our teams play this Sunday. We are over it. You saw that your team wins or my team wins. In politics, there's nobody wins. Everybody's opinion.
Yeah, we're just the losers.
One of the saddest reasons why I don't want Trump to be in office is because people now on both sides are just putting their political views into their personality so much, where it's just exhausting to talk to people, and people just don't want to be friends with other people because of their political views and everything.
Yeah, well, and I think that's a big reason of why that even with this pandemic, it is really blowing everything out of proportion. There was a comedian that I started laughing about because he's like everybody's getting offended over everything. You know what happens when you get offended? Nothing happens.
I just wanted to know.
Well, that's the main thing people are doing now. The main focus people are having is, I'm offended.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Okay, I'm going to sit here and if I see somebody that's transitioning from a guy to a girl, and I call him by the wrong pronoun, in certain states, that's illegal.
New York. California too, right?
It's in California. In New York, you can't call an illegal immigrant an illegal immigrant. You have to call them what is
alien.
It? Yeah, you can't even call them an illegal alien. Illegal immigrant too. You can't call them that. They're seeking
asylum.
That's what it is, or that's the bingo word. I don't know. You don't speak English in this country. Get the fuck out. I'm sorry.
That's like one of the things that you've heard of Adam Carolla, right? lot of people are going after him now because he's been going on these shows. He was what they call like a hidden Republican actor, where he was just going out and like a lot of stuff he's talking about is stuff I kind of agree with, but then some of the stuff he'll say is just a little far.
But that's fine.
But now people are going after him about it.
Well, but also remember, Adam Carolla was also with
Jimmy Kimmel
on the Man Show.
One of the things he talked about is the only reason Jimmy Kimmel got away with the blackface thing is because he's a Democrat and he's popular. If he was a Republican or anything, he said, Adam Carolla was like, he would have been shot down. He would have been like blacklisted and everything. But that happened, that whole blackface thing lasted like a week maybe, and then it just disappeared.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like certain views are getting suppressed. Like, if you go on Facebook, I mean, to be honest with you, like, I tried having a conversation with somebody, and I was like, listen, I like Trump, I don't care, let's have a conversation. Tell me why you don't like the guy, and I'll take it in consideration. I'm not going to sit here and argue with him. And they even said, let's not blast each other. And what happens? Somebody comes up and like, typical Trump supporter, can't back it up with facts, can't do this, can't do that. And I'm like, listen, I'm not sitting here and arguing. I'm just trying. And they're like, oh, you don't come on here. I'm like, listen, I had 3 kids. I don't have time to stay on Facebook all the time and do all the research. Yeah. My bad.
Dude, the last time I went on Facebook, I got in an argument with this lady. What's that Facebook group? The other 99% or something like that. They put a post up saying, "Would you go to a restaurant if you knew they were Trump supporters?" And everybody in the comments is like, "No, no," and I'm like, "Why wouldn't you? I mean, if they're blatant, like just because they're a Trump supporter doesn't mean they're a bad person."
Like, and that's something that Nicole is like fairly adamant about. Is like avoiding Chick-fil-A, and it's like I agree with her. It's like they're
Chick-fil-A was a different situation,
and
that got brought up in the conversation.
But that's what I mean. It's like Chick-fil-A is that point of it's like don't try to suppress the rights of people. Like that's what the whole fucking Constitution was about. You know, we the people, all that shit. But it's like don't fucking hate on gay people. Don't fucking hate on. Like, don't hate on a group of people because you don't agree with them. You're allowed to have a different opinion in regards to it, but it's also like, don't fucking look at a gay person. It's like, we're gonna kill you because you're gay. It's like,
well, the point of the conversation we're having is they were trying to say, I don't want to be with these people. I'm gonna get people not to go to their restaurant just because they're a Trump supporter. Now, Matt, let me ask you a question, sir. You're a Trump supporter, yes? Do you hate gay people?
Do I think that they should force how they are on my kids?
No, I'm just asking. Do you hate gay people?
No, I don't. I have friends that are gay. I don't care. I don't.
Like
it's not like I go out of the way. It's like the same thing. Like you can even ask me, oh, do I hate Latinos? No, I'm married to one. Do I hate black people? No, I have friends that are black.
Well, that's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
If just because somebody likes Trump, it does not mean they hate people. So you should not try to ruin somebody's life and their livelihood just because.
Yeah, it's actually funny. So, like I said to you before, that we had a Trump rally around my town. So they had like the moms of that particular town. They were like, this one woman, all she did was like, hey, where is the Trump rally? Just a simple question. Not asking, oh, are you going? Who's going? No, just where is it? And what time? And then all the other people in the comments were like, at Trump, this, that. Like, they were just throwing their opinions in. Now, my mother-in-law she hates Trump. Absolutely hates him. So I get into a lot of arguments and conversations with her.
Sounds like a good woman.
But she also wants to research and understand why he is the way he is, and why doesn't she like him. But also in the same turn, like, it's funny when I try and explain things to her, she's like, well, you can't always take everything on the internet as truth. And she's like, when he talks on Twitter, I don't like when he does that. I'm like, that's fine. but then I don't believe anything he puts on Twitter, and then I start saying something about like this was the beginning of Corona started hitting, and I was like, yeah, there was a Democrat senator said that if she gets Corona, she's going to every single MAGA rally that she can find and spread it. Well, how do you know that's real? And I'm like, then how are you also like I don't believe that. And I'm like, but you just said that I shouldn't believe everything on the internet. But you're just also saying that's just like I caught her in a lie, and she was like, I'm like, listen, I don't care. I really don't.
See,
it's her opinion. I have mine. Let's just move on with our lives.
And that's the one thing that I will say, at least in regards to Trump, and it's not just for like specific to him, but it's like we're stuck as a society between a rock and a hard place of we're voting between Trump and we're voting between Biden, and both of them, for lack of a better term, are pretty much going to fuck the country because they don't care about a group like us. They care about the people who are putting money into their pockets at the end of the day, who are, corporation holders. And it's like, you're not going to get to a point where we're going to see a difference because they don't care about us.
And that's the same thing, too. I even said that when Trump was getting elected. And, everybody's like, oh, Trump is this. I'm like, now, as him being president, does it really affect your day-to-day life?
Not necessarily. And
Not necessarily. But it makes you think, okay, him being a president, does it affect our life right now? If we had any attacks on us? You could say no. Me being a New Yorker, I could have gotten mad at Bush because we had an attack at the World Trade Center September 11th. But other than that, the president really, honestly, it doesn't affect me as much as, say, a one percenter. That higher echelon of people. Or the really, the low of the low, on welfare and all that shit. We can all agree that we're all, kind of happy in the middle. But I'm just saying, by happy, I mean, we're in the middle, not, towards one or the other. We're all in the same spot, the middle class.
Well,
the middle class is a lot bigger than a lot of other people think.
Well, I think now more than ever, a lot of the stuff he's doing can affect us with the unemployment things, our medical, by big example.
Yeah.
All this unemployment stuff is getting a little crazy. A week or two ago, people with unemployment got an extra $900 in their bank account.
6.
No, it's 9.
I thought it was 6. Was it because you have kids?
No, I didn't get it. I'm on unemployment. Chris and all of them did work at the pier because they don't work enough, so they're still paying unemployment. So they got the Unicar paychecks plus the $900. It was a 1 week thing.
No, wasn't it just wasn't the unemployment bumped to 600?
Basically, Trump gave Gina a certain amount of money in a stimulus package, so that she gave $900 for a week for the people. But I'm saying they made more money that week than I make in a week, and I'm working 2 jobs. So all this stuff with these unemployed people getting all this money, and most of them, yeah, they do need it because their jobs aren't able to work right now. But then you have all these other people that just literally won't go back to work because they're claiming Corona.
Oh, I agree with you, but it's hard because
I'm just a little bitter.
It's hard because the government's not willing to do the work it should to make sure that the people who actually need it are getting it. And I think that's the more irritating aspect of it is it's
oh yeah,
they could be doing significantly more to make sure that actual shit gets done for the people who need it. And then it bleeds over. Again, I'll say it this way. The president is a figurehead. No matter what, you go back as far as you want to go back, the president has always been a fucking figurehead. It's always been the Senate and the House that decide all of the shit that goes forward. So, they're the ones that are looking to benefit themselves.
And I will say, it's not necessarily a good thing, but Trump has been the least puppety president.
I think so too. I would agree with that.
Because he goes against Senate a lot.
I think it's because he's a fucking wild card and he just wants to like.
He is a wild card. 'Cause think about it. Every other president and every other politician right now, the Senate, the House of Representatives, they're all career politicians. They've all been in politics for years and years and years, and a majority of them don't have term limits.
Yeah, like the Senate and House don't have term limits.
And you look at Trump. This is the first time he's ever been in any political thing, anything. He just ran for the president of the United States, and sure as shit, he won the vote for the Republican Party.
The way he's running it, though, isn't necessarily as a president. He's running the country more as a businessman. So when he comes in contact, but when he comes in like conflict with all these actual like presidential duties he has to do, he kind of does it in his own way. And there's a lot of people out there that love it, and there's a lot of people, including myself, that kind of hate how like strong-fisted he can be about all this stuff. And he has like a major superiority complex where if somebody says he's wrong and stuff, he gets very upset. And he constantly has to say he's the best, we're the best, and all that stuff.
Yeah, but also in the same respect that look at we'll just go on peace deals. Let's just even go on the peace deals that he's done since he's been president. Now, we haven't gone to war with him. He's only done one strike in the 3.5 years, and that was on a guy who gassed his own fucking people.
We're still waiting for their comeback too. Remember last week he said they were going to retaliate?
Yeah, and they never did.
Yeah.
Because they know better. But then you also look at the peace deal. He was the first U.S. president to go, or the first president to go into North Korea.
I think that's a lot of superiority complex. So he's like, I'm going to be the first president to do this. And then he got butthurt the second time around because Kim Jong-un was like, I'm not that into you anymore.
Kim Jong-un is also dead.
No,
yeah, I think he's dead
they've
too.
showed him again.
But anyway.
They've shown him again. I don't know if it's a hologram.
No, it's probably just a dead corpse. They're looking at burning him.
The only thing I like that he's doing, he's going hard after China. And I fucking can't stand everything China's influence on our country.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you look at... I guarantee you 95% of the things that are in your house right now are made in China. It's just that they have because they can... It's a communist country, and they can literally do whatever the hell they want. They can charge pennies on the dollar to make anything. I guarantee you half the stuff that's in my Blue Yeti mic, almost 95% of it is made in China.
But
it's just the manufacturing there is just insane, and there's no quality control.
And that's the thing is like the reason the companies will push shit out to China, to India, to Taiwan, all of those countries like that, is because they can pocket those profits rather than spend a little bit more, make shit in America, and then be like, yeah, we're actually putting money back into the economy.
It's basically low pay mass results.
Yeah.
There's like 9, I forget how many concentration camps. And
they're a fucking lot in China.
Yeah. So what do you think they're doing in the concentration camps?
Yeah, they're just building shit.
Yeah. And then they have the very low paid workers in these little facilities and everything.
Yeah, but it's also because they have 1 billion fucking people. They can if one dies, it's like, okay.
Can we talk about how nobody's going after the concentration camps in China?
It's because you can't. Because if you do, you still have to worry about Vladimir Putin and Russia and North Korea because North Korea is fucking crazy.
Concentration camps in Russia, we would be going after them.
I don't think so.
What do you think, Matthew?
I didn't hear what.
Now you know about the concentration camps in China and all that, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you think if they were in like Russia or anywhere else, we would go after them?
No, because we're not world police. If you really want to do that, then you would have the UN.
Oh, so we'll think of World War II.
Well,
once concentration camps got there, the United States is like,
no.
America.
I know.
I'm just saying.
I did way too much research into World War II, so I know too much about
I
it.
honestly think that the UN and the United States would do something if we found out Russia and like all these other countries.
But why does it have to be? That's the thing, and it is like what Matt said.
I don't want to say Germany,
the world police, but that's the thing. Like Matt said it. America isn't we shouldn't be the world police. That's what the UN is there for. And again, it's those career politicians they're just trying to shake hands and make sure they can keep their business deals in the back. And that's, again, it's the same thing. It's until there's an actual degree of reform, and I believe people from like Matt's age at like 30 to people in my age at like 25, like
My age too, motherfucker.
you're in that age, you old shithead. Like I feel like that's the age demographic that as soon as we get to that point where we can actually have people in Congress and in Senate, in the House, and being able to run for presidency, that's when we'll see more of a difference. But because you still have people who are fucking 80 years old running in fucking Congress and the House and the presidency, you're not going to see any real change yet.
See, one of the coolest things that happened, I think it was yesterday or the day before, you guys know Judd Apatow, right? He made, like, those Seth Rogen movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the first directors out there now. It's literally making a campaign against China. Because he's tired of the United States film. Because they're even thinking of putting a lot of Hollywood stuff in China now.
Yeah.
Because it's cheaper. They get all this stuff.
I know.
But now Judd Apatow's being like, we need to keep this in the United States.
Well, but you look at majority of, it's even like the same thing with like, because I don't know if you guys know about the whole child trafficking thing that's been going on. You notice that when all of that, like Trump was putting money into it and whatnot, and the whole Jeffrey Epstein and all that shit that's going down. Have you noticed that no celebrities are talking about it?
Yeah, they're not going to because most of them
were there.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it's crazy to think about it. And they're like, oh, we want, like, even like you have Alyssa Milano, like, oh, we're gonna take all of our stuff out of Georgia because they have this abortion law that restricts women's rights. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I think it's interesting that, but they're also gonna go overseas to some of these countries where like they do like an abortion on the corner with a coat hanger. Like, seriously.
China forces abortions if you have too many kids.
Or if you have a girl.
Yeah. Just throw them off.
But I mean, like, you go to, and they're willing to put their money, like, overseas. Like, hey, listen, you want to do that? Have fun, go. And they see how horrible it is. Oh, wait, you're still here? You know then what you're saying is absolute shit, and you're just using your influence to sway people. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the NFL and everything that's going on.
Well, the NBA was more the ones that bent over backwards for China.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, NBA, definitely, because that's where the majority of their market is.
Because they had that big protest, and all of a sudden they were like, oh, China wants us to play basketball? Oh, so we're sorry.
Yeah.
Well, but it's all about even, like, Hong Kong. I mean, Hong Kong's in China. It's one of the capital cities in China. And they're flying the American flag with Trump's face on it. Like, what? Like, what? Do you really think they would have done that for Obama or Bill Clinton or any other president?
I think it would be... The biggest thing is I think that it's especially seeing how they're moving more towards their own independence, which is it's being unbelievably suppressed by China itself, that they're looking for help. And it's not coming to them like they need it, and it's going to be difficult to see where that one goes.
Now Hong Kong's going to separate from China, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna say it here because I've never been a conspiracy theorist, but didn't you know that the Hong Kong riots happened, and then not soon after, Corona hit?
Well, Corona was made in a lab in China.
No, Corona was made by a guy who made some bad stew.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was made in China, like in that lab, to then put it onto Hong Kong. But oops, they put it in fat soup first.
No, I definitely think China created the coronavirus as a population control.
It's not
just widespread.
I don't think it's a matter of population control. I think it probably does have more to do with trying to get Hong Kong to shut itself up. Because you have Carrie Lam sitting in the seat of power, and she's willing to do what China wants to do. So why not shut them up? If it spreads to the rest of the world, who gives a shit at that point? It's not affecting China in any way. They're still making cash. So it's like...
And I do not believe China's death toll and all that to be true.
Oh, no, it's 1,000 times higher.
I guarantee you theirs is probably way higher than ours. They're just being like, oh, no, we good.
Yeah.
Well, even ours, if you look at it, like to be honest with you, the 100 and what is it up to now?
200,000 now.
It is 200,000.
Yeah, yesterday it hit.
Well, I know. A couple weeks ago, like last week or 2 weeks ago, the CDC even said 95 or 97% of the actual death toll was of people who had underlying conditions. Like, I know in New York, our governor, dumbass, basically kept sending people with corona to nursing homes. Now, those people in their nursing homes have underlying conditions. Why would you do that? And he actually sent them with body bags. And anybody who died that was happening during the pandemic, especially in New York City, anybody who died during the pandemic, it were written down that it was caused by corona.
And that's even
numbers.
That's even a thing. Like, say you have corona, you get hit by a car. Oh, it was coronavirus.
But it's because the government bodies can collect more money off of saying, oh, well, we have a higher death toll, we need more money. It's like, but we also wouldn't. It's not to politicize anything, but you look at New Zealand, and they were like, all right, cool, everybody in your house 2 weeks, just hang out. I know it's gonna suck, but just wait it out. There was a significant downclick in it.
What do you...
I kept saying if New York, because we were the hardest hit.
Yeah.
I kept saying if we literally shut down everything for 3 weeks, everything.
Yeah, it would have been fine.
We would have been fine. I think if we shut down everything, but Cuomo and everybody was like, oh, we'll just shut down everything, like essential.
The essentials.
To stay open.
Well,
who the fuck cares if you're essential or not? Shut it down for 2 weeks, and then we'll move on with our lives. We don't have to look like China wearing masks every fucking place we go.
The thing is, Matt, even if we had to shut down people, you know how many times during our supposed shutdown, I was delivering to houses where they're like, we're having a corona party. There's like 20 cars in the driveway, people just partying it up.
It's Americans who think that because you have the First Amendment and you have all these rights, it's like they think they can just do whatever they want, and it's like I hate wearing a mask. I work in the IT industry. I'll say that as much as that. But when I have to go out to places and I'm wearing a mask, and I've had CEOs look at me and like laugh at me because I'm wearing a mask. It's not because I want to wear the mask. It's not because it's making a fucking statement. It's because I don't want myself, my girlfriend, my friends to get the virus, because I've seen the people who've gotten it, and they've fucking said it's some of the worst shit on the planet that they've had. Kind of like the flu. Not as bad, but still like the flu. So it's like, I'm trying to be nice to people.
Well, that's what COVID is. It's like another branch.
Yeah.
Of the flu.
But I've had. Go ahead.
It's just more aggressive, because usually the flu takes like I think it's like 7 days to like get into your system.
Yeah.
This you can spread it within 2 days.
And it lasts for 2 weeks in your system.
Yeah.
I will say.
Not show symptoms.
Yeah.
I do wish people would calm down. I'm not saying you should be wearing a mask, but I had a customer literally complain that I walked up to their house, delivered the package, and I wasn't wearing a mask when there was nobody outside.
Again, and that's the other side of the spectrum where you have these people. Again, it's people who think they have all these rights and they can tell you what to do. It's like, just be fucking normal for like a day and a half and just stop being fucking crazy about shit.
I wish I could just tell them too, be like, I'm breathing on this package, delivering it.
Yeah.
And you're going to be touching it.
Wait, how many people have touched this before me that you don't know if they wore a mask or not?
I'm walking up to your house, even if I had corona, which I don't, or we get tested.
Yeah.
It's just, these people like going so crazy about the mask.
It's both sides.
It's driving me nuts. It's making me like very agitated and angry.
So you have the people like I would consider myself, I don't like the mask. I don't want to wear it.
Yeah.
But I just wear it because I also know, because my mom is
high risk.
High risk.
Yeah.
But she has nurses come in and out of here. My grandmother has packages coming in and out of here.
Yep.
I'm like, if you're that worried about it, you shouldn't have ordered the packages.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have gotten these people to come here. You can tell a doc. Like, seriously.
I want to yell at them so bad, because I had a lady literally yell at me not to come on her property. I was walking, like, I parked the van and I was about to walk in her driveway and she's like, "Stop right there! Stop! Put the package down!" And I'm wanted to be like, "Why are you ordering from Amazon, you dumb bitch?" Just like, stop ordering packages if you don't want people. You're inviting me to your house pretty much when you order.
Yeah.
So if you don't want me coming on your property, don't order the package.
I mean, you could
have it sent to the post office.
You could have thrown it, but then it would have ended up on Reddit, and you would have gotten shit on for it.
Yeah.
So I mean, like you're fucked either way.
I do want to put this out there. If you don't want people coming to your house, bring it to the post office.
Yeah.
Have us deliver it there. We do it all the time, and it's fine. Just pick it up at the post office.
I think it's funny because you have all of these people that are like, "Oh, I don't want this, I don't want that." I'm like, but these are also the same people that are ordering toilet paper or made the shortage.
It's awful,
like,
dude.
these are people. And also, like, one of the biggest things, because obviously everywhere I go, I see people in masks. One of the things that I think is the funniest is when you're driving alone in your own car.
Yeah, and you're wearing a mask.
And also, you're jogging outside, not in a confined space, wearing a mask. I'm like...
No. Do you know what the worst thing is, Matt? Seeing these people... Have you ever seen the people with the face shields, where they pretty much just put the face shield over their face, but if you cough, it's still going to go out. It's not I saw one today where it was literally up to their nose right here. It's like, that doesn't help you.
Well, it's like football. It's like if you watch any of the football games, all the players don't have masks on. They have their helmets.
Yep.
Yeah, but the helmets have the face shields over it now.
Oh, not all of them. They're sparse. Some of them have the ones that just go over their eyes. But the NFL issued a mandatory mask for everybody else on the sideline.
Yeah.
The coaches and whatnot. If you wear the mask improperly and it's down around your nose, like past your nose, you're getting fined. I was like, but you have all of these other guys running at each other, hitting each other, spitting on each other, like bleeding on each other, and they're not going to get it? Like, I don't understand.
I think it's because...
It's double standard, I think.
I think it's because people can politicize it, and they can be like, oh, well, you want to wear a mask, so you're a Democrat, or you don't want to wear a mask, you're a Republican. It's like, no, you want to... I don't care if you don't want to wear a mask. I don't care if you do want to wear a mask. I would prefer if we all wore a mask for like you said, the 3 weeks, and it would have taken care of all that shit in a heartbeat. But we're dealing with like the kids who went to Florida who were like, yeah, we're all going to party on Long Beach. And it's like, it's not Long Beach.
That's their prerogative. That's how I feel about this whole thing. You don't need to have everybody being tested. You don't need, if we were all decent human beings and we did what we learned in school, if you're going to cough into your arm, and if you have to go do anything and you go to the bathroom, you wash your hands.
Like normal shit you should know.
Normal shit you should know.
Yeah.
This wouldn't have been a pandemic.
Yeah.
I think also all of the things that have happened over the last 6 months, 7 months, since like February, March, all of this shit is just showing how much the government can control it.
Oh yeah.
I really honestly feel that way. No matter if you're on the right side, the left side, Republican, liberal, whatever, I don't care. I think it's a government experiment to see how much control they have.
Oh yeah, it's to see how far they can get away with people listening to them, or how much disruption they can include into the society of it all. And it's like, it's so fucked. It's so fucked.
It is totally fucked.
What else did he have on his list? We got to talk about something slightly lighter.
I have no idea, but I'm definitely pretty soon I'm gonna have to head out because my wife is gonna kill me.
All right, last topic. We'll spend like 15 minutes on it. PlayStation and Xbox.
Well, you know where I stand. We kind of already talked about it a little bit in the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm an Xbox guy. I'm gonna probably get the Xbox Series X.
Well,
do I think it's gonna pay off in the end to get it right away? Probably not.
Yeah.
But
well, how do I want to put it? I play PC, so I can easily just say, yeah, I play Xbox games because I do. I have Halo on my PC. I have several different Xbox games on my PC, like Sea of Thieves. I have that on my PC, but I I will stick with PlayStation because it's where I'm comfortable, and that's just where I'm gonna sit for now.
All right.
That's fine, and that's how I am. Like I've had all of them. I probably started with the PlayStation, but
Oh yeah,
once I found multiplayer and like Xbox Live, I stuck with an Xbox. And Halo to me was my game, my shit. And once I found that there were exclusives and whatnot, like God of War was not enough to sway me to play PlayStation.
nah, I
Like,
can understand
for me,
that.
it was always multiplayer.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm personally a single player guy. The only multiplayer games I like playing are fighting games, which, in my opinion, fighting games work better on the PlayStation.
That's fine. And that's exactly like even with AJ from All for Gamers. He's very similar in the respect that he can't like. I got the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Yep.
I got it on the Xbox. He had to get it on the PlayStation. I'm like, why did you get it on the PlayStation? He's like, because that's what I played it on when I was a kid.
Yep.
I was like, I played it on the fucking N64, so that controller's already
God
fucked.
help you.
So I was like, you can play it on anything. I don't care.
You just had a bad time.
Yeah.
But my personal opinion on the console war going forward is Xbox made a big move getting Bethesda, but I don't know if that's going to be enough exclusives for people to be like, I'm sticking with Xbox.
I think
Because they already said they're not putting one out till 2021, 2022, right?
what
Xbox with exclusives.
I don't think it's so much exclusives
Well,
as
AAA.
I don't think it's even AAA. I think it's more a matter of people are willing to stick with what they prefer, and it's like,
Well, you can't really say that because Xbox 360 killed PlayStation 3. PlayStation 4 came out with Xbox One. PlayStation 4 killed.
yeah, but that was also based on on cost and performance and several different factors. And you look at this current generation, the consoles are almost indistinguishable. I know you can say the Xbox Series X is faster, and on paper it definitely is, but it's really up to the developers and what the developers can do with said consoles. And I think we're getting to that point where it's reaching that ubiquitous stage where no matter what, everybody's going to win in this situation. Because it's like PlayStation exclusives are going to PC. I'll see that straight out firsthand. God of War, I know that's going to PC after no, it is. It's already been confirmed. It's going to PC after a year. And we saw Horizon Zero Dawn already go to PC.
Yeah.
I know you're not seeing it on Xbox, but that's a massive haul to move everything over to a new console and optimize it for that console. Whereas moving it to PC, it's already been made on a PC. You just moved it to whatever console you needed to make sure it ran for. So it's if you can move it to PC and put it out, PC, it's getting to that point where PCs are becoming significantly stronger, but the cost to entry is the problem. And that's where consoles resolve that problem.
Yeah, I'm good with PC. I'll stick with the PlayStation. It's already built for me. I don't have to spend a shit ton of money to have
and that's what
actual well-working machine.
And I mean, did you build your PC, Matt?
Yes, I did build it.
So, do you also play games on it?
My PC for some reason is really being crappy.
Yeah, no, that's all right. It's technology.
It's probably because you built it.
I'd love to watch you build a PC. But so do you play games on your PC?
Do you play games on your PC?
I don't do it anymore.
Why not?
He has a Switch.
Okay, my computer stopped thinking. I can hear you guys.
Okay. But
no, I last I heard you say was if I play games on the PC. I used to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't play a lot because obviously it's more for streaming and doing podcasts and stuff like this. We used to do a lot more with it. I mean, most of the games that I would play on PC are on other consoles.
Yeah.
For me, really, right now, the console for me that I'm playing a lot of is definitely the Switch because of the portability. I don't know. For me, I don't really care. Like, I have a PlayStation, I have a PS4, I have a PS5. You know, I might get it eventually.
Yeah.
But I'm getting the Xbox first. I was originally going to do the same thing on the Xbox One and PS4. I was going to get both.
Yeah.
I was like, PS4 was just too damn expensive when it first came out.
The 4 was?
It was like what, $3.99?
I think the
'Cause they
4.
lost a lot of money. I think it was $3.99.
Yeah, the 4 was $3.99. I think the 1 was $4.99 if I'm right.
I could have swore that it was either $4.99 or $5.99 when they first came out.
No, I was like
that was the 3,
the
bro.
3 was like $600 at launch.
Yeah, the PlayStation 4 was $3.99 at launch, and they did that at like a super loss.
Well, I just remember there was a guy, because I used to work at GameStop at the time, and I can't remember if it was, I think it was for the 3. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
The
$300.
guy comes in and he blows his whole wad on the PlayStation, and he's like, and he buys a game and then he leaves, and he comes back in 5 minutes later, and he's like, "Has anybody got $1 so I can get a bus ticket back home?"
Jesus Christ.
We're like, you just spent $700 on a game on the system, and you don't have $1?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Doesn't carry cash, bro.
But
No,
it's
I honestly think that it's all going to go for preference this time around. I think if you're a PlayStation fan, you're just going to spend the extra $100 on the digital.
no, it's $100 less on the digital.
No, for compared to Xbox Series X, it's $299 to $399.
Yeah, I don't know.
Price difference between the digital.
The difference between the Series X and the Series S, there's actually a little bit of a difference.
Yeah.
Other than being like no disc. But on the PlayStation, there is no difference. The only difference is one doesn't have a CD drive and the other one doesn't.
Yeah, so you're losing out on a Blu-ray drive.
Yeah, and that's literally the only difference between the two. And I can understand. So is a disc drive $100 more worth it? Probably not.
Well, it is. In the long run, I feel like if you buy used games, it'll be cheaper to buy the $4.99 one opposed to the $3.99 one.
Well, the other thing
just
to
because
say,
you're going to be saving money on the used games opposed to paying full price.
the other thing to say on that, a decent 4K Blu-ray player is around $100 to $150.
Yeah.
So like, if you want to say, yeah, I can just get a Blu-ray player in my console already, done. Like there it is for you. But
which I stream everything, so I don't
don't
really need physical copies anymore. I don't go to GameStop to buy used. I don't buy a lot of games anymore. I have PlayStation Now, so I play a lot of stuff on there.
You can just get stuff on sale. It goes on sale so often now.
Yeah, so, and plus, PlayStation and Xbox want you to pay for their digital copies because they get all the money.
Yeah.
They don't get any money from all these used games.
Yeah.
So, I'm surprised a lot of them didn't try to go full digital.
Nobody's going to accept that yet.
But I think that's why they're pushing digital.
Next generation, if it goes full digital, so like the next cycle,
Yeah.
the next systems after this, I can see them going full digital with no disc.
Absolutely.
Because that would be the streaming or the cloud streaming kind of thing. Because it's definitely going towards that, especially with like PlayStation Now and Xbox Game Pass. It's going towards that. But right now, that's why they're offering the two. I think for a better value, I think personally, looking at completely biased, out of the two systems, the better value is probably the Xbox Series S, which is the $299 one, because you're also getting you're getting the small system. You're getting it's still gonna have it's gonna be I think it's a little bit more powerful than Xbox One X right now.
Yeah.
And you're also getting 500 to 1,000 games, because so what I was saying earlier, it's $299 and the Series X is $499.
Yeah.
But you can also do it where you do, I think it's like the All Access Pass is called. So if you order through either Amazon, Best Buy, or the Microsoft Store, you can pay a certain percentage for fee for every month. I think it's like
$15, I think.
No, I think it's like 25 for the small one and it's like 40 for the big one. don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure it's one of those. But
Sorry.
you're also getting 2 years free Xbox Game Pass and EA access.
Yeah, it hurts me to see Xbox teaming up with EA, just because I dislike EA to the very core.
I understand where everybody hates EA, but if you really want to go after the guy who does the DLC content all the time, it's technically Ubisoft,
Oh, yeah.
not EA.
Well, Ubisoft's gotten better about it. They haven't. I don't think they've
Yeah,
done it in their
well,
recent
if
games,
you
have
go,
they?
if you look at every EA title, okay, yeah, there's going to be, especially with the sports games, there's always going to be 3. Every Ubisoft one, you're going to find 3 or more, like 2 to 3 different versions. Like even, what was it, Tony Hawk? They have the the $40 one, and then they have the $50 one.
Yep.
Why?
Right.
It's a Tony Hawk game. It's already got 2 games included. Why do you need DLC for that?
It's what was it? It was like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like they had the regular one, they had the special edition, they had the digital edition, they had the ultimate edition, they had the super ultimate. Like they had fucking 6 different versions of it for no reason. It's like, just fucking give me the game and let me play.
And then have a Game Pass later on. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, do it once.
Yeah.
But to go back to the
They're-
console wars
they're
thing,
being assholes.
as a final thought we could put into this, I recommend people do not buy at launch. If we've learned anything throughout the years of all these console releases, you should never buy the launch one. Wait a little bit to see if all the kinks are worked out and everything. I like to wait at least half a year before I buy a new console. Unless there's a game I really need to play, which I doubt.
I actually, so I waited.
Couple of they're doing.
What's up? Oh, it's stroking out on him.
Can you hear us?
Being weird.
Yeah, it's getting to that moment where like it doesn't want to work for us anymore.
Alright. Well, I want to thank you, Matt, for coming on the show today. I don't know if you can hear me, but thank you. I'm Chad. This is Chris. That's Matt. Do you want to say retro? I keep saying retro.
It's retro.
Retro.
Yeah, I wish we could hear you, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't want to put audio out.
But don't forget to like and subscribe.
Go-
Share this video. Go to his Instagram.
His Instagram, it should be right above his name. Ours is right below our information. Go check us out. Go give Matt all of the love on the face of the planet. Go buy some of his stuff, actually. You can find it at devotedsaintretro.com. All of the stuff that he has in the background, more than likely, it is available to be bought. So go take a peek. And we just lost him. So, yeah, go check him out. And maybe we'll be back next week with regular content like D&D.
We'll definitely be back with D&D.
Bye, Matt. I love you.
Goodbye, everybody.
How do we stop streaming?
Can you actually hear me now?
Say bye. Say bye and say what you're doing with your
I
life.
think it's stop being a stroke.